All right, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to a Sunday show. Eagles announced earlier, about 45 minutes ago or so, that Lane Johnson did not pass the concussion protocol, so he is out for the game today. We all know that the Eagles have not fared very well when Lane Johnson doesn't play. Fred Johnson will take his place, who is kind of a veteran player, kind of a journeyman guy. Pretty cool story, but no Lane Johnson. Fred Johnson in, A.J. Brown out, Devontae Smith out, Lane Johnson out. I mean, it almost seems inconceivable how an NFL team could win a game missing three players of that magnitude. But it's been a weird year in the NFL. Injuries all over the place. Look what's going on now. Vegas isn't a team that you want to be comparable to, but no Devontae Adams. Max Crosby's out. They got a couple other guys. The Chargers, no Joe Alt. Rashawn Slater, I think, is out for them. People, man, the injuries have been just unbelievable. You got to find a way to persevere and get through them. By the way, Tampa Bay, they've got a ton of injuries too. Some key guys. Their right guard, right tackle. We talked about it on the Outside View on Friday's show about how big losing their right tackle, Luke Gedke, would be. So if he's out for the game, Antoine Winfield is out. Also, Kalijah Cansey is out. So it's a battle of attrition on this Sunday. Weather down there going to be a little wonky. Could be some rain, humid. So a battle of attrition for the Eagles today. No Lane Johnson. The Eagles have not fared well in their history with Lane out. When you look at their record with Lane Johnson out of games, he has missed 37 games for the Eagles. And in those 37 games when he has not played, the Eagles are 14-23 without him. They are 97-59-1 when he plays. So big difference with Lane Johnson in the game. How big of a difference does it make on the game today? You know, you hope it's not something that you're looking at and saying, Fred Johnson is getting his lunch handed to him over there. You hope that he, as a veteran, can be a stabilizer. Mekhi Becton's back, so he'll be at right guard. The question is, how much has Mekhi Becton and Fred Johnson played next to each other in game situations? Heck, Becton has barely played any right guard in his career other than what he's done here in Philadelphia. Some people have asked me, why not move Becton to right tackle and have Tyler Steen play right guard? We talk about this a lot on the show. John McMullen has brought it up. He actually tweeted about it a little while ago. So I'll kind of echo what he has to say. But, one of the things is that Jeff Stoutland doesn't like to move multiple guys. So could this have been something they did in practice? Maybe they didn't know if Lane Johnson was going to be cleared or not and didn't want to start moving guys around. So Becton, you're just learning right guard. We're not going to now move you to right tackle. Hey, Fred Johnson seemingly is a capable replacement, a steady guy. He's not going to be what Lane Johnson is, which is basically eliminating pass rush. But, hey, next man up all over the league. The Eagles are no different today. I don't know if this is a game where Jalen Hurts throws the ball a whole heck of a lot, doesn't have a lot of weapons, but they did elevate Paris Campbell and John Ross from the practice squad. Can John Ross get into a game and make a difference? That's going to be a huge question mark in my mind. Is it how many snaps does John Ross get? Is he a factor in the pass game at all? Who are the receivers today? We know Paris Campbell would be one. Josh Dotson would be the other. Who's the guy that gets that third bunch of snaps? Is it John Ross, Johnny Wilson? That is going to be a very interesting storyline. And if the Eagles just decide, let's kind of simplify things. I threw this out on Friday. Why not Kenny Gainwell in the slot and see if they can get him some manufactured touches in the slot? Kenny Gainwell was a wide receiver at Memphis in college, so maybe he's a guy that they can get more involved in the pass game. That's something I'd like to see. All right. So before we get to some other thoughts, if you're watching this show, thank you. We appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, could you kindly do so? Go to youtube.com, search Mike Gill Show, and just subscribe over there. Then you get an alert sent to you whenever we go live, and we go live with the show during the week and Saturdays, Sundays, maybe some mornings before I go on the air, stuff like that. If you are watching on the X platform, if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the repost, if you have questions and you want to say something, you can click the video and it'll say something. You can type in there and it will come to me over here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment in the comments section and that will come to me as well. As we continue to try to grow our YouTube platform and the X platform, we are seeing big gains. It's amazing. Over on the X platform on Friday's show, we had the biggest audience that we've ever had on X platform, and that was awesome. So we want to try to grow the X platform. We want to try to grow the YouTube channel so we can continue to do more content for you guys out there. We're going to continue to do more and more stuff here. I like to sit on the back porch and just kind of pontificate sometimes. That's where I'm at right now. You know, back there is TV land, and we'll watch the games outside today. It's nice enough. Phillies. Trey Turner said after the game last night, we have nothing to really play for, and it's weird, and everything's kind of locked up. It gives you the mentality is they don't care about home field advantage. Is that the right way to go about it? This group of guys had home field advantage last year, and they lost. I think they understand that home field, road, doesn't really matter all that much to them. I think what matters now, listen, do they want to play at home with the Phillies fans and how crazy it gets in that building? Sure. But they wanted to play at home in game 6 and game 7 last year against Arizona and didn't get the job done. So I think for them, it was more, let's just kind of get to these games. This group has enough pressure on it. They don't need the pressure of playing at home in game 6 and 7 with a 2-game lead and not getting the job done again. So the path to a World Series, quite frankly, is better out of the 2 seed than it is the 1 seed. I don't know if that was part of their thinking. I doubt it. But I think what was more a part of their thinking was home, road, whatever it takes. Let's get there healthiest as we possibly can be. So I'm not going to sit here and bemoan the fact that they did not play well in these 2 games against Washington, and we'll see what happens today. Nola, I don't know. I did not check to see if they're going to stick with Nola today or not. Let's do a quick check of that. He was the scheduled starter in the game today. We'll see if that is going to remain. Anybody know if Nola? I didn't. That game was at 4:00 yesterday. I had it on and kind of off. I was kind of going back and forth, but. Let's see. Everybody plays afternoon. There's no Sunday night games today, by the way. So, yeah, Nola's the scheduled starter. I didn't think they were changing that. I think he's going to pitch a couple innings. This team here has enough pressure on it. I have maintained on the show, I want to be wrong about this. I just don't see this team winning a World Series, and I hope I'm wrong, man. Too many flaws in the lineup, too many strikeouts, too many streaky guys. I like the pitching, but it has some question marks. The bullpen, do they have a guy that can get the last 3 outs that you trust? What's Suarez? He's been a key guy in the last 2 playoff runs. Can you depend on him in this playoff run? But ultimately, I think it will come down to that lineup. When we look back and say, if the Phillies did not win a World Series, what happened? Why was it? I think we're going to be talking about that lineup again. I think that lineup, they did not do enough to change it, upgrade it. At the deadline, they went and got Austin Hayes. He has been a disappointment for whatever reasons. He had the kidney infection. But quite frankly, why he was here and playing, he did not provide much for them. They had to pull him from the lineup yesterday. So I'm just not feeling it. I hope I'm wrong. What do you guys think? You with me on that, or are you saying, no, the Phillies are fine? I don't know. Do you know if they lose the game today, if they win today, they will have been 500 since the All-Star break. If they lose the game today, They will be under 500 since the All-Star break. They're 32-33, I think it is, entering the game today. Just not consistent enough. And look, those things don't really bother me as much as this is who this team is, and it's been this team for about 60 plus games, and the lineup problems are not going to be fixed, I don't think, in a week. The impact of Bryce Harper has not felt the same. He had a good year, not a great year, but the impact of Bryce Harper. Can he give us an impactful playoff run? Trey Turner had the home run yesterday to tie the game up in the 8th, and then they coughed it away in the bottom of the 8th. And that was Jeff Hoffman that came in and didn't get the job done. So the Phillies played guys yesterday. They went with guys. They went with their guys. Wheeler, Hoffman. He lost a game that Wheeler pitched with Jeff Hoffman coming in against the Washington Nationals. Very disheartening. But playoff baseball is different. You turn it up a notch on Saturday. So the Lane Johnson news, we gave you that. The Eagles updates with against Tampa Bay. I'll give you a quick, we do one thought every game on Thursday shows with Casey Joyner. I'll give you a quick thought on all these games today. Let me pull up the schedule for you real quick. New Orleans and Atlanta. Kind of like Atlanta at home in that game. They got good defense, man. And Kamara might be out. Rams and Bears. A lot of injuries for the Rams. Don't like Caleb Williams. Didn't like him coming out of the draft. I don't think he's going to be a bust. I just don't think he is going. It has been all that great. Their line's terrible. That game's kind of a rock fight. Minnesota, Green Bay. Very intrigued by this. Darnold, Love is back in the game. See if Minnesota can get a road win, go to 4-0. Pittsburgh undefeated, going to Indianapolis. I think Richardson stinks, and against this defense, I think he's going to have a long day. I take the under in that one. Denver and the Jets. I like the Jets in that one. That was my play of the day on Friday. Really like the Jets in this one. I think Denver can't win on the road 2 weeks in a row. I can't see it happening. Defense for the Jets going to give Knicks all sorts of problems. Cincinnati, Carolina. We know it's Andy Dalton back against the Bengals. Bengals, man, bad vibes. I like the Bengals coming into this season, but bad vibes around them. So I don't know what the feel is on this one. Can Carolina win 2 games in a row? Jacksonville and Houston. Mixon's out. Jacksonville trying to save their season essentially here. So that game's got some intrigue. Washington, Arizona, a lot of intrigue there. Can Washington get to 3-1? Arizona's been a pest. So that one's interesting there. New England, San Francisco. Looks like Deebo Samuel will be back. Cleveland and the Vegas Raiders. Raiders have all sorts of injury problems. Cleveland on the road. They hate that matchup too. Kansas City and the Chargers. Chargers, all sorts of problems and injuries over there. Buffalo and Baltimore tonight. Baltimore, can they lose 2 games in a row at home? Buffalo would win. They would be undefeated. And then the 2 Monday night matchups we'll talk more about on Monday. All right, so that's about it for me. Again, if you're watching and you like watching and you're part of the show, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You see it scrolling against the bottom right there. You see it scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Here it comes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel right there. And if you could do that, that'd be awesome. Then you can get a little alert whenever we go live. And if you are watching on the X platform, that would be cool as well. If you hit retweet or repost or whatever they're calling it these days. All right, we'll talk to you on the radio on Monday. I'll be at Ocean Casino. Stop out there. Always, that place is great at the Fanatic Sportsbook. And we'll talk to you at 2 o'clock. Maybe if something happens, that's why you want to subscribe. If something happens in the morning, we will get on the YouTube channel in the morning and give you a little quick thoughts on if there's news breaking in the morning. By the way, Sixers training camp starts tomorrow. Oh, Mitchkov, 2 goals last night. I'll tell you what, these are preseason games, and you're getting a chance to see the stars, Mitchkov play and what he brings to the energy he brings to this team. Man, that's what a superstar is supposed to do. And he's coming out, and right off the bat, he's making an impact. So could be a lot more Flyers excitement in the area this year, and I'm all for it. I love playoff hockey. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I watch all 82 games during the course of the year, but when you have a star, they might make you watch more. So Mitchkov, I like what we're seeing so far. Energy, passion, and by the way, he's really good so far. All right, we'll talk to you on the radio. Take care, everybody.